Tonight's Gooder Entertainment production is brought to you by The Chopping Block, Minotti Woodcrafters, Pinkerton Pit Barbecue, Texas Oil Doves, JB Water Wells, All Fired Up Barbecue Cook-Off, Texas Original Charcoal, the Briscoe Ranch Cook-Off at the Crossroads, Smoke and Magic, Texas High Roller Events, Laredo Roofing Solutions, Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation, The Barbecue Store, Mr. Keen Sharpening Service, Cosmo's Q Products, Half-Ass Cookers, Damn Yankee Texas Barbecue, Rectag, Quattro D Drums, We Branded Promotions, Texas Barbecue Bash, and Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics. Thank you for supporting the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
The So Smokin' Gooder Show. There's a lot of gooder. There's a lot of things that are gooder. They're better. They're gooder. I say they're gooder. They're the most goodest show that there could be. The So Smokin' Gooder. Wow, what a good! Has there been a gooder show? I don't know if there's ever been a gooder show than the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Wow, what a show! Iran's not having a show like So Smokin' Gooder Show. What a beautiful show! There's never been high definition like this going on in this. What a great show!
Hey, what's up? I'm Cosmo, and you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show. So grab a drink, park your ass, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing.
Hey, we got any more beer in here? All right, I'm sorry. I won't talk again. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead, Robbie.
If you're gonna put it in the box, put it in the box.
And stamp it.
I call it bass boat.
Bass boating?
If you ever seen a bass boat go down the water and everything like that.
Oh, and he nailed it. Oh, shit. Hashtag bass boat.
Hey, this is Josh Hill, Sure Shot Barbecue, and you're watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show, the Corn Dog King.
This Kid Folk with Canned Heat Barbecue. We're going to the So Smokin' Gooder Show. Let's all drop in.
My name's Greg Minotti with Drop Time Smoke, and you are watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show.
Are you ready to turn up the heat?
1. Let's go!
Because you've just tuned in to the one and only So Smokin' Gooder Show. We're coming to you live from Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters in Cypress, Texas. This is the show where we talk all things barbecue and brews, and you better believe we're here to have a good time. Get ready for the man who knows barbecue like the back of his hand, the guy who can tell you the difference between an IPA and a stout blindfolded, and the life of every party, your barbecue pitmaster and the host with the most, Rob Arocha. Whether you're part of the Gooder Gang or just here for the special guests, barbecue competition updates, or maybe even to rate some boxes, strap in, fire up those smokers, and crack open a cold one, because the So Smokin' Gooder Show starts now.
Absolutely. Good evening, Gooder Gang. Welcome to the show. Let me fix my camera. Oh, wrong. There we go. Welcome to the show, everybody. I love that you guys are here. You know what time it is. It's a little after 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, and you or me that is right here watching the So Smokin' Gooder Show, you know, the very best fake internet barbecue show on the planet. I am Rob Arocha coming to you, yes, from the Bullhorn Barbecue headquarters in Cypress, Texas. And yes, you are tuned into the So Smoking Gooder Show. Thank you very much for tuning in. I am very happy you are here. We'll get to the shout outs to the Gooder Gang. But tonight is all about Hogs for the Cause. I am going to be attending this event for the very first time, and I am so excited. I've been learning all about Hogs for the Cause. We're going to have two wonderful, outstanding powerhouses behind the event. Well, behind the event as competitors, but Grant Pinkerton of Pinkerton's Barbecue, you know him. He's a big sponsor of this show, big supporter of us. And we're a supporter of him as well. He's going to be on here a little later to talk about, what this event means to him and what he's done to contribute to this event. And of course, we're going to have Tung Nguyen, the Asian Cajun Cowboy. He's also now part of Team Kosmos. He's going to be on tonight. That's who I'll be hanging out with and cooking for Tung Nguyen. So I'm excited to be a part of our team out there. It's coming to me here in just a minute. But Hogs for the Cause, the 2026 Hogs for the Cause Music Festival and Barbecue event. This thing has big-time headliners, big-time musicians. Over 90 teams go to New Orleans. It's at the University of New Orleans. It's at the Lakefront Park or whatever it may be. We'll talk to Grant and Tung here, and they'll talk to us a little more about that. But it has raised over the 2 decades, raised over $15 million, delivering more than 2,300 direct grants to families battling pediatric brain cancer, plus critical support for hospital programs and family housings like the Hogs houses. This is a big-time event, big-time cause. So get behind it. Hopefully you guys can attend. If you're listening to me and you're in Louisiana, which I was just in, we'll talk about that here in just a minute. My goodness, I hope you're able to attend. But joining us again, Grant Pinkerton. He's a Houston legend. He's going to be coming on talking about Hogs for the Cause. Probably the biggest hog cooker in our state. Well, he may agree with that, and maybe he may be modest. You never know. But Grant is somebody that I look up to in whole hog competitions here in our state of Texas. And of course, we got Chef Tung, who's a New Orleans. I don't know if he's a native, but he's lived in New Orleans for quite a bit. He's opened up some restaurants out there. He knows about the local scene. He's got the vibe. He's got the pulse of New Orleans. So we are going to New Orleans for this. It's going to be April 10th and 11th. Coming up real soon. So we're going to be talking Hogs for the Cogs tonight. I am very excited to do that. Very excited to be a part of it. So y'all buckle in. Let's talk some of that. But before we get to all of that, tonight, of course, as always, I got my producer, the best in the business, Mr. Producer Ty. Get in here, my man.
What's going on?
How are you, buddy?
I'm excellent. I'm watching the opening night of Major League Baseball on fucking Netflix. Shout out Shane LeClaire with what I forget his barbecue team name now.
Damn Yankee Texas Barbecue.
Texas, yeah. And so they're up 5-0 right now. So
they're up 5-0?
Yeah, New York's up 5-0.
What inning?
Top of the third.
Oh, plenty of time to blow it. Plenty of time.
Beautiful. Oracle Park's looking beautiful. Great day for baseball. I can't wait for my Braves. I know you're a Houston Astros fan, but I'm really excited about baseball this year. World Baseball Classic really got me hyped up.
I saw a meme. So the top 10 teams to win has a possibility of winning the World Series. You want to hear who they are real quick?
Let's hear it.
All 10 of them were the Los Angeles Dodgers. So they definitely have cornered the market on some marquee players, but that's why they play the season. We'll figure it out here in October. So, all right.
I'm excited.
Let's give some shout-outs to the Gooder Gang. First in, my pits are burning, Mr. Kevin Hernandez. What's up, homies? Daddy Dutch, good evening, gang. Who else we got? Lobster Bucket. I love it. He's Lobster Bucket. He's catching it live now. Another Wednesday down. How's everybody going? How's everyone's day going? Yeah, Nicho Heredando. Evening, Gooder Gang. There's Braden right there. Sup, gangstas. I like it. Teresa Edmondson. Evening, everyone. I hope Jimmy is still alive and well. I hope you weren't fibbing, Teresa. I still need a proof of life. We need a proof of life from Jimmy Edmondson. Lucas Armstrong, good evening. Oh, Texas Barbecue Bash. Colin McElrath. Yes, I got that. Danton Townsend, I got to hang with this young man this past weekend in Lafayette, Louisiana. Shaler Chapa, congratulations on a wonderful event. By all accounts, it was amazing. Sorry I had to miss it. Michael Ramirez, good evening, Gooder Gang. Rachel, oh, man. Targach, pretty sure. I think so. Shane Lick, hurry up this show. Yankees are on. Yes, I know they are. Kyle Blanchard, got to see Kyle this weekend and hung with him. He cooked us some amazing fried fish, fried shrimp, hush puppies. It was awesome. The Louisiana hospitality was flowing in abundance. Jacob Kennedy, got to hang with Jacob and his lovely family. Jason Goss, what's up? There's my boy Louie. What's up, fellas? Eddie Madrano, our guest last weekend. Thank you, Eddie. That was awesome. Thank you very much. There's Eric Cantrell, the real little gringo. Awesome when a contest supports amazing causes like this. Absolutely. Bud Brown, Hottie Rob, Cole and I are watching. What's up, Cole? Pet his head for me, please. Pat his head. Who else we got here? There's Firebox, James Ritchie. What's up, gang? Louis Gonzalez. He's got to watch his boss is on. He's got to be on tonight. His boss is on. Big Family Barbecue. What's up? Says Calderon. Good evening. Lance Bracco. Word. Lisa Kennemer. What's going on? Hey. Brandon Perriman. There he is. Always forward. There's Buddy Howard, the all RGC of this past weekend. What's up, Buddy? Got to meet him. Adam Gotro gave high praise to Buddy. He said, look out for that guy. He's an up-and-comer. And then, sure enough, RGC in Louisiana. Kevin Barker, what's up? Got to meet Kevin this past weekend. All right, my Louisiana peeps are coming in strong. All right, I think we got a proof of life with Mr. King. A $5 proof of life right there from Mr. King. Unless that was Teresa. Unless Teresa has access to the keyboard. We don't know yet. $5 is maybe a proof of life there. Brian Murphy, what's going on? To Troppin Block, Webster, hello, folks. What's up? There is John Turner checking in. David Dunn. We got Chris Hatcher. What's up, party people? Chris Hatcher will be joining me. She said, trust me. That's what they would say. They would say, trust me. They would definitely say. Lucy and John Moreno, what's going on? Jason White. The Chopping Block legend. All right, trust me, Mr. Keen is alive and well and driving me crazy. All righty. Thank you to the Gooder Gang. Y'all are amazing. Thanks. Y'all are the best part of this show. We do this each and every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. A lot of y'all are from Louisiana. We're going to be talking Louisiana tonight. Hogs for the Cause is in New Orleans, Louisiana. So we'll be talking all about this wonderful event coming up here April 10th and 11th. Let me make sure I got the dates right. I know it's April 10th. Maybe is it 9th and 10th? Is it 10th and 11th? Let me do this real quick. It is 10 and 11. April 10th and 11th coming up here in about 2 weeks. So I'm very excited about that. We're going to be talking hogs with Mr. Grant Pinkerton and, of course, Tung Nguyen, the Asian Cajun Cowboy. I love it. We're going to be talking to them here shortly. All right, but I do have to talk about where I was this past weekend. Shout out to all the winners over the weekend. Big event in Belton. Michelle Castillo, she had a wonderful event. She killed it. Michelle Martinez, excuse me. I went way back. Michelle Martinez, she won the big Belton event, 100-team event out in Belton, Central Texas. Great job. How about LC Barbecue winning the All Fired Up? I know there was others. We'll talk about that. Ty will run down the winners. But where I was in Operation Smoke Show in Lafayette, Louisiana, we were right in the parking lot of the football stadium at the U of L, the Ragin' Cajuns, also in the shadow of the Cajun Dome. I've heard about this Cajun Dome watching college basketball for a number of years. And, it was cool. It was really cool to be there. Power, the promoters, Blake and his entire team, Blake, John, David, they did an amazing job out there. We did not want for anything. So if you guys are in Louisiana or Texas guys next year, not sure the dates of any of these events that just happened. Maybe they will stay the same. I think they may change some of them. But this is something you should put on your calendar. The hospitality out there was amazing. I got to meet a lot of new people to me. They've been longtime barbecuers kicking butt in the BCA over in Louisiana. Shout out to Big Homies. Shout out to Kyle Blanchard, On Call Barbecue, Jerry Valley, B-Mac, I think he called himself B-Mac, Sweeties Barbecue. I saw some Texas teams over there. Tiny E, Adam Gotro. He's a Louisiana legend, I will say. Johnny Dunn, Billy Ruff, Danton Townsend, We all made the trip over from Texas. It was a wonderful event. My wife ran a phenomenal job without any hiccups. I think they enjoyed the CBA experience with the, the walk-up songs, just the points, the cumulative scoring. They got to see their stats. Maybe that's in the works, but if they can go in there and log in, they can see where they lined up on tables. It's really different for them. They enjoyed it. The awards were a lot of fun. It was taking me back to the first few awards for CBA. A lot of dancing, a lot of celebrating, a lot of clapping. Air guitars were played. People were, everybody kept their clothes on, so it was good. But it was a good time out there. So it's always the third weekend of March. All right. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin was in there. Kevin gave me some of that slap your mama to help me out there. What is this, Ty? Well, what is that? I think Ty's putting up there. What's up, baby? It's baby Bobby. I like it. What's up, Joey Machado? I'll get to see Joey here real soon. Okay. But shout out to the winners, Jerry Valley. He was the grand champion, and Buddy Howe was the reserve grand champion of that. So I just want to give some proper shout outs. Operation Smoke Show in Louisiana was a success. Put that on your calendar if you are able to. Okay. Ty, get in here real quick. Am I forgetting anything?
Yeah, I was having a little bit of internet trouble there, so sorry about that.
Is that what you wanted to post?
Yeah, this picture. Wax poetic about this. This looked like a special event for you this weekend in Louisiana. So talk about some of these people in this picture.
All right, so this is the 10 a.m. beer picture that we did right there. I got a red can in my hand, so everybody does, because I went out and we went to the Rousers market out there. Rouse's market out in Louisiana, and they had some local brewery, local beer, right? And that's what I always like to do when I'm in another city, another state, whatever, is try the local brew. This was the Ragin' Cajun. We were at the University of Louisiana, so we all had little Ragin' Cajun beers over there. But there's Tiny E, Tim Esch right there. That is Josh from Italians Do It Better. That is Big Homies I'm just going left to right there, and that is Kyle Blanchard. You got Adam Gotro, you got myself, Kevin, and then Danton Townsend. We had a wonderful time out there. I mentioned what Kyle did on Friday night, but Saturday night, Big Homies did some amazing. Jeff Guardia. He did some amazing etouffee out there. So we were eating really good out there. It was a good time. So again, put that on your calendars if you can. That's a good event out there, and it'll be, I guess it's always the third weekend in March, as Kevin Barker has commented on there. Okay. We are talking hogs for the cause. We got a bunch of information to put out there. So let's bring in our first guy. He's going to act as the co-host after I talk to him for a few minutes, but we're talking about Chef Tung Nguyen. Hold on. I've got some information that I want to read, Ty. I hope I didn't kill it. No, I did not. Let me do this real quick. Tonight, we're diving deep into the South's most meaningful barbecue events. But where is my boy, the Asian Cajun cowboy himself, Chef Tung Nguyen? This man has opened up restaurants, T2 street food, and slow and pho, as I'd like to call it, in St. Rock Market. I'll get him in there. But he blends the Vietnamese flavors with barbecue out there. It's pretty cool. He's definitely fusing some of these, his culture of Vietnamese food and flavors and bold, powerful flavors with barbecue. So we're talking about Chef Tung Nguyen. Bring him on, Ty. Let's get in here. The man behind Porky Long Time is how I know you now. But now we're rebranding. What is going on, Chef Tung?
Nothing much. What an introduction, man. It's like a walk-up song.
It was pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Couple restaurants, New Orleans, Vietnamese fusion.
Don't want to correct it, but it's New Orleans.
How do you say it? How do the Cajuns say it though?
New Orleans. You're not from there when you say New Orleans. It's New Orleans. Yeah.
All right. I will never make that mistake again.
All good. You'll hear it more when you're in town.
New Orleans. They say Nolans, right? Don't they? The Cajuns say Nolans.
It's too thick. I mean, if you're down the bayou, which is like Homa and like down there in Lafitte, Venice and stuff, you'll hear that more.
All right, I need you to pep the fuck up. Tom. Let's go. What is going on here? What is going on? You're like leaning back here. What is going on?
I'm relaxed. I had a few JDs in me right now, so I'm good, baby.
Is that you? I see you're in the office of the, in the Cosmo headquarters right now. You got cameras on you. Is that why you can't be yourself
that's
right
right.
All right. Just making sure. Is the boss watching? Probably not.
It's a school night, baby.
The boss is not. He's not watching right now. Although he's part of the show every time we do there.
Yeah.
But talk about what Hogs of the Cause means to you, man, and how many years you've been competing in this? How you been involved with it? Being a New Orleans native. Are you a native? You're not a native.
Yeah, I was born in Florida, but I was there all my life.
You're born in Florida?
Panama City Beach. Moved there like when I was 1 or 2 into New Orleans. So most of my career, my entire life there. I only was here in Oklahoma City for 2 years now, working for Kosmo. So
you're a New Orleans native.
Yeah, I mean that's what I call home. So
absolutely.
But yeah, so started families in the restaurant industry. But they did it more so just as a source of income, right? Put their head down, work. I have one of 13 siblings, so a lot of mouths to feed. So we all worked in the restaurant industry. So I wasn't really good in school, so I was like, hey, I know what I'm really good at. So went into the restaurant industry and just did my thing. But I want to do it differently than just putting your head down and work. I wanted to make a splash, show off mom's recipes, and show the creativity of the original fusion food, Vietnamese, right? Chinese and French influence, that sort of deal. So that was kind of the route I took. And then I was working in the restaurant, met a pit master there named Damon Brugger. And he introduced me to Hogs of the Cause, went out there and just was hooked ever since. And I've been doing it for the last 10 years, just
nice.
Different teams, just just lurking around, being a fly on the wall, helping out where I can and what I'm good at. It was just like feeding the public, right? Incorporating smoked meats with all this Asian flavors and just feeding the public. I really didn't get into the comp side until like the 5th year when I kind of understood, whoa, like there's a lot to go into it, And when you're going up against like the what's his name, Marcios of the world and Tim Shears and now Grant's been doing this for a couple years now. It's just like
Pinkerton.
I'm like, man, it's like these are the big boys. And me inviting you guys down to New Orleans is trying to open up the gates to Texas to come over to Louisiana and see what we're all about. And then, I see all these competitions in Texas, but this is one of the bigger ones in Louisiana that is not sanctioned by no means, but it's a good, good environment to be in. It's giving back to, the charity, and also it's a great music festival. And it's a different types of people you're going up against, right? You have the barbecue comp guys who does it every weekend, week out. Also, you have all the restaurant guys that do it. There's probably about 40 different restaurateurs and chefs from local restaurants in New Orleans that will be competing in there as well. And then you have your backyard guys. So, they cook every weekend, the weekend warriors, and they use Cosmos products, Meat Church, and all the rest of them. So it's a good blend of people there. It's very exciting to see what people come and create. The categories are really wild, from mayo to salt, to a category called potpourri, which is anything pork. So it's really fun, and it kind of allows you to stretch your wings and let it fly and be creative with certain things. So yeah, good calls too. It's pediatric brain cancer. Awesome. You don't want to be that young and not be able to live life and
no, this is terrible. It's a great cause. What they support and what they benefit. What they benefit, and $15 million, like I just mentioned, over the last couple decades, which is a lot of money. We'll talk about Hogs when Grant gets on here as well. But real quick on you, what you got some exciting stuff coming up on with the Asian. I love the rebranding. It's catchy. Yeah. The Asian Cajun Cowboy.
2 years in Oklahoma got me a little westernized in a sense.
I mean, that's not Cowboy. I guess it is Oklahoma. North Dallas, whatever you want to say about that.
There's a whole cowboy museum in Oklahoma City. Come on, you can't tell me we're not in cowboy country.
Is it Route 60? Is Route 66 go through there?
Route 66 goes through Oklahoma. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No. For me, it's just, there's a lot of things going on. Just got done filming a food competition cooking show on a major network. So just got done doing that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're in the works of doing a sauce line. And it's just more of the Asian side. A lot of the Asian sauces I use at the restaurant, and I just wanted to package it up since I'm not in the industry anymore. And it's a very hard industry to be in, the restaurant industry, but I still want to create and I still want to showcase my flavors and my palate and all that kind of fun stuff. So if you go to follow me on the Asian Cajun Cowboy Instagram and TikTok handles and stuff, you'll kind of see like the journey of how me branching off from the Kosmo brand, doing my own thing, and creating these sauces with, getting a call from a major retailer to get me hey, we like your flavors, we like what you're doing. Let's get your product out there online and on our shelves and kind of all that fun stuff. So you'll see like, we're creating the journey of how to create a sauce company in 90 days, in a sense.
Very awesome. Are we able to share the sauces or no?
Not just yet.
Okay. All right.
We don't have. I just got done at the co-packer.
Ty, don't. No, I'm just kidding. Ty doesn't even have it yet.
The Instagram page is perfect, but yeah, the logo's already developed. I still am working on the labels and stuff like that too. So yeah, follow us on social so you can see the journey of that.
Awesome. Well, we're going to be talking hogs tonight, so I'm going to drop you down because I want to talk to Grant for just a minute, and then we'll bring you both y'all up there because y'all are real knowledgeable what's going on this coming up in a couple weeks. So I want to get you back on, and we're going to do all of that. You good with that? So just hang out for a minute, and I'll get my man Grant Pinkerton on here in just a second. Don't bring him on just yet, Ty. I got to give some stats on Grant Pinkerton. He's a Houston barbecue Texas legend. I mean, he's opened up a couple restaurants now. He's got one in San Antonio. Hell, he's even got Louis Gonzalez man in the pits over here in Houston. But we're talking about Grant Pinkerton. He's been on the show a couple of times prior. He's told his story. We'll touch on that here in just a minute. But he's one of the brightest stars out there in barbecue, man, with his restaurants. It's really doing well up here. He just opened another one off of Kirby. I haven't been out there yet, but I will go out there very soon. My wife has been out there. She was out there. She talked to me about how beautiful it is and what a wonderful restaurant it is and what it's doing for that area of town, which is awesome. But he's got a team out there called Glazed and Confused. And since his rookie season at Hogs for the Cause, he has really taken this cause to heart. He's raised over $225,000 for the cause. So Grant is a big part of that, and he's back there. He's a whole hog champion at Hogs for the Cause. So let's bring him on, Ty. Let's bring in our man right here, Mr. Grant Pinkerton from Pinkerton's Barbecue, Glazed and Confused. Come and eat it. You got a lot of names out there, Grant. What's going on?
Guy that wears many hats.
What's that?
I said I'm a guy that wears many hats.
Many hats. Real quick, talk about the new restaurant, man. That's exciting, man. It was a big deal. Chronicle write-ups. I saw it on the news.
Yeah, Texas Monthly's already come.
Are they written up on it yet?
Yep.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
He said it was actually, I think it was his first restaurant, first time he's ever written a review about somebody's third restaurant. So that was really, really cool to have that done. And it was a great review. He had an awesome time. So, it's been very exciting. I think, Louis basically lived there with me for the last, I don't know what it's been, 2 months.
Yeah.
So,
dude, I love the retro sign. I love the whole aspect, the aesthetics of it. It looks gorgeous. I can't wait to go check it out. Talk about the area over there and what you're bringing to that area, because last time you were on the show, we were talking about, hey, it's in the pipeline. It's coming down the line. Talked about breakfast, and I remember talking about a biscuit and all kinds of different things.
The biscuit is here.
The biscuit is here.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that an everyday thing? Is that a weekend
Every
thing?
day we're cooking a lot of biscuits, man. I think Daniel Vaughn said it was the best brisket he's ever had in his life. So that was a pretty big compliment, and I grew up in that neighborhood. I grew up and I still live about 7 minutes from that restaurant. And so it's been really cool to open a restaurant in a place where you're serving people's parents you grew up with, kids you played Little League with that are now old and have their own families, and just kind of
that's gotta be cool.
Entrenching yourself in the neighborhood. That's been really neat. And then also it's a much larger restaurant, has bigger kitchen, bigger pit room. So we have kind of the space to do all the things that I've wanted to do over the 9 years that I just have lacked the space and the firepower and the kitchen equipment to be able to do. So it's been fun kind of, I was kind of kicking it up a notch and introducing new items. And, like one of the things we're doing is every Saturday we're, serving a whole hog right on the line. There's a big old hickory pit right on the line. We open the doors and serve a 180-pound pig every Saturday. So we're getting a lot of practice cooking hogs. So,
well, you've already demonstrated you know how to cook hogs. You've been to Memphis in May a number of years. You've done well there. You won whole hog, 23 at this event here, the Hogs for the Cause.
23 and 24.
23 and 24, badass, dude. That's nice. So, how does it work out there? We'll talk about it with Tung here, but the first time for me to go out there, I know it's very pork centric, right? Where it's Hogs for the Cause, right? So we got whole hog, shoulder, ribs. Are those the three only main?
And then there is one kind of a wild card category called pork puree, and that can be basically any creative use of pork. I've seen all sorts of stuff win, but they select your three best. You get basically 4 shots at it, and they select your 3 best scores, and then it's cumulative.
Okay. And that's how the grand champion happens?
Yep. And then plus there is a fundraising component. Like you have to raise so much money, and then you get the full allotment of fundraising points. If, you don't meet that threshold, then you got a little handicap. So, it is all about the kids.
So I know you're a Houston native, Longhorn. How did you get involved with hogs? How'd you find out about it? And, what attracted you to do this event and, taken to whole hog cooking like you have?
I'd known about the event for quite a while. There were some guys who have some barbecue restaurants around that had a team, and it just looked like a really great, fun event. And I'd kind of messed around, kind of poking my nose around, who was going over there and that kind of stuff. And I think it was, not last year. So three hogs ago, before that, the guys from Barstool Sports, they had a team there, and They reached out to me to spearhead the cooking and their turn-ins for their team. And I got on the phone, called a buddy of mine. I was like, hey man, I have a pretty good opportunity. If you want to go do hogs, we can cook for, Barstool's team.
That's pretty badass.
And they were, because, Mincy's from New Orleans or Louisiana area. So he was kind of spearheading it, and kind of ran with that for a while, was getting that all done. And then I feel like 2 months before Hogs for the Cause, I got a phone call that I guess it was when they were selling Barstool to Penn Sports for gaming, that Penn Sports was like, nah, you can't participate in that, blah, blah, blah. And so they had to pull out. And so I was really looking forward to cooking Hogs for the Cause. So I just started making phone calls to anybody I knew that had any affiliation with the team there, and was like, hey, do you want somebody to come cook your turn-ins for you? Do you want somebody to help, cook event festival food? Let me cook the hog for you, whatever, ribs. I just want to be a part of it. So we went there, and we won hog that year. And I feel like we had a 10 by 10 tent, and it was pretty ramshackle. There was not much to it, but it was pretty fun that we won, and then we came back and won again back to back. And then I was sitting there that year. We had somebody that worked for me for a long time at Pinkerton's. I'd become a dad, and this employee of mine, their daughter got diagnosed with brain cancer.
Damn.
So I'm sitting there at awards, and the team I was on raised barely raised $5,000. And I'm like, man, I can do so much more than this. And if I'm going to do it, and we're going to I just felt very called to undertake that. It was a barbecue centric charity. It was a cause that I kind of was feeling pretty emotional about. And so I said, you know what, we're going to do our own team next year. I'm not sorry guys, I'm not cooking for y'all. I'm going to come back. We're going to start our own team in Texas and with some of my friends from Mississippi. And we're going to come back and we're going to call it Glazed and Confused. And we're going to see how much money we can raise for kids.
That's amazing, dude. So, and up to this
first year we raised, I think it was like $130,000.
Wow.
And this year we're, I think, sitting at probably, when it's all tallied up at the moment, like 85, maybe 90 at the moment, if we're pushing it. And we still got a few weeks to go. So
that's amazing. So about 225,000 at the moment for just a couple seasons of doing this, man. That's pretty awesome. And yeah, the fact that you were called to do this, and I like you said, it's a barbecue centric. You know, you're emotional at the time, but man, you've really taken it and run with it. Not only that, you're dominating it out. It feels like you're, the competition side of things. So we'll talk about that, but I do want to get Tung in here to talk about the event itself, because I'm new to it. I'm excited about it. I've been studying it, just checking out the past videos, seeing, getting ready for this show, seeing you guys, y'all's success. Let's, Ty, if you can bring Tung in here as well.
Yeah, one suggestion is go eat when you're there. Like, actually go eat at everybody else's tents, because the food that you can buy and all the money goes to kids. Man, it's really good. It's like one of the only times you're going to walk around a contest and be able to eat a bunch of really good stuff.
So are we selling food as competitors out there? Or are you talking about vendors out there? Okay.
No,
well,
every team does. Yeah.
So every team is a fundraiser for this event. Very nice. Okay.
Yeah. I echo that. What Grant just said, I echo that. You got to go. They have hand pies, pulled pork hand pies. They also have like ice cream made with bacon fat. They also do just weird things. Gonzo does like this birria pulled pork taco that he does that crushes it. And then just a bunch of different things. And then the tents itself, and like they're all decorated. There's like a big old river pilot ship. There's a team up from the Northeast that did like a whole Flintstones little Wilma setup. Yeah, remember that one?
Yeah.
Grant,
So
what is y'all's theme, Grant?
I don't know, tie dye and getting whacked out. We're glazed and confused,
Tung, what is our theme this year?
So the team name had to make a change. Porky Long Time was too raunchy for Our Lady of the Lake Hospital, so I had to change the name for that one. So we're Second Line Swine. It's a very Mardi Gras theme, very party atmosphere and stuff like that. So that'll be our theme. But yeah, I mean, there's over 90 teams. They got guys like Grant, Tim Shear's going to be there, Mark Lambert, also James Cruz. Sweetie was there. Sweetie's going to be on the team as well too. You were just competing against him this past weekend. And yeah, a bunch of different people there. And then you have the guys who run juniors, the guys who run Lufa, like these major restaurants in New Orleans are also competing as well.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
So in the categories we just talked about with Grant, there's 4 of them. I guess we have the hog, the shoulder, and the rib, and then this, kind of you call it type of thing.
Yeah. So those are the 4 main categories, which is a Saturday turn in. And then the ancillaries, as I call it, is on Friday. You have sauce, bacon, mayo, blue plate mayo. Let me say that first. Blue plate mayo and wings, which is all on Friday turn-ins. And those are pretty much the ancillaries of it. There's also like best social media, best booth, and all that fun stuff to go along with it too. So there's a lot of fun things that they incorporate just to get you more involved. You see the monstrosities of all the tents, and like the Hogfather has a great tent where there's like a double decker. You can oversee the stage and everything. There's a team called the Boar's Nest that throws an amazing Friday night party. Also Florida Q, they have a 60 by 60 tent that is 3-story that oversees the entire event. It's a pretty cool time. And then the big headliners like Steven Wilson Jr. And what was the other guy's name? He missed last year, but he's redoing it this year again.
Actually, I was wrong. Not Zach. Zach Top, is that who you're thinking of?
No, the other guy.
Charlie Crockett.
Charlie Crockett, yeah.
If he's back, that's cool. But I was reading 25s They had it back to back, and I thought it was Friday and Saturday. I was like, this is amazing. We get Zach Topp, Stephen Wilson Jr., and Charlie Crockett. But the underlines, man, this is great. So there's multiple stages, right? From what I understand, there's a lot of. It's a big venue. It's a big outdoor stages, and what we are. How big of our spaces? Do we got? We got a 40 by 40s. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so we have a 40 by 40. Grant, you have a 40 by 40.
60.
A 40 by 60.
Damn,
yeah,
big time.
He raised all the big money.
Yeah.
Hey, and to give Grant a lot of credit, I've been doing this for 10 years. The amount of money he's raised in the last couple of years is the amount I've raised the entire time I've been there.
Wow.
So raising that amount of money in those few years is amazing. So hats off to you, bud.
Congrats, Grant. In this economy, my goodness. Yeah, that's amazing. Pinkerton Barbecue, just donate $25 to the link to win 3,000 pits and spits. What link? I didn't see it. Maybe
I sent a link on there. That's what I was looking at.
Oh, there, the Instagram. There it is. The G Pink. There it is, right there. Okay.
You can find it on my
There it is, right there.
Well, that's my Instagram.
Okay. All right.
I think it's like screening my.
It's a rally bound one.
Yeah, it's screening them out. Weird. Anyway, if you go to my Facebook, there's a link on there. We're raffling off like a $3,000 Pits and Spits pellet grill. It's pretty nice. I got one sitting right outside of my house that I use all the time.
Nice. That's a great one. Buddy Howell's in the comments. He says Hogs provides you with handheld point of sales for cashless environment. And then he also said there's an award for the most Miller ponies consumed.
That is right. That is true.
My goodness. What is the scene like out there? Is it pretty wild? It's
Friday night. Friday night gets wild, right, Grant?
Yeah, I leave. But the cool part is, like, we like it. My daughter comes. She came when she was like 6 months old. She's come every year. So during the day and basically into the evening, it's really like family friendly. There's a lot of kids just running around. It kind of reminds me of like old chili cook-offs here in Texas. Just parents are hanging out, the kids are all ganged up, running around, and then at nighttime, I mean, dude, it's New Orleans, it's Louisiana. People get wild.
Yes, they do.
Was that my mic?
Rob. Your audio's messed up, Rob. Yeah, you got to log off and log back on, I think. All right, fellas, sorry about that. Where did we leave off? We'll get Rob back in just a second, but
we've taken over the chat.
There we go.
We'll let him back in.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to the story, and I just want y'all to wax poetic about this.
Yeah, I mean, Grant's right. Like early on the day, Friday and Saturday, it's a really family friendly. There's right in front of our booth is like a family station where they do like face painting, and they'll have like playground games and all that kind of fun stuff. But Friday night after 8:00, it kind of turns up. There's a bunch of bigger teams with the 60 by 60 tents who just turn up. They have the parties, and there's actually a competition who has the best Friday night party, and you can win towards that. So that's one of the ancillaries that they have as well. But it's a good turnout, and then you get all sorts of ages. You have a bunch of college kids going out there because of fraternities making them do charity work, and then you'll have a bunch of guys who are at law firms who are like, hey, I'm forced to do this because my law firm is like a donor to the festival and everything. So it's really fun. You get to cook while you're drunk a whole hog overnight, and everyone's on hog duty pretty much to keep the fires on and all that kind of fun stuff. And it's a good time. Like when you see all the stragglers who have undercooked hog because they party too much and all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, I mean that, and then also you get to see and then what people cook on. Like there's also cinder blocks who's cooking on whole hog on cinder blocks, and the Cajun microwaves, and you'll see like the big dogs with the old hickories and these coffins and all that kind of fun stuff. So there's a lot of interesting things going on Friday night at Hogs of the Cause. You're back, Rob? You
I
good?
think so. I think. Am I back? Am I
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
All right. Very nice. Tung Nguyen, not Tung Nguyen. What event is this? We're talking about Hogs for the Cause. It's going to be April 10th and 11th in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing again, Rob. Just get back to your area now.
Dang it, Rob. Man, Rob. Start hosting. You're producing and hosting now, Ty.
Yeah. But yeah, just everything y'all talk about, like what we were talking about beforehand, is the specialties that Grant brings to the table, all the great causes he's involved with, and the preciseness of being, a chef, and then the fucking Texas pitmaster aspect of it. I love when those worlds collide, and only on the So Smoking Gooder show can you bring that together. Yeah. It's cool to see y'all succeed, man.
No, I mean, hats off to Grant, third restaurant doing his thing. I called it quits 2 years ago when I came over here to work for Kosmo. It's just like, it burnt me out. It takes really someone crazy enough to go in and be like, hey, I'm doing this 16-hour days and stuff, smoking meats and everything too.
You can ask Louie. I'm nuts.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say is, like, I know we'll take like a different turn. You didn't expect me to get all personal. Like Rob doesn't really do this, but like I watch your social medias, and your social medias are awesome. I love when you go through and you interview all the people in the different areas, and you actually get to know your employees, and people like me that want to know the good people that are being successful. Like, you can tell how much you care about your business. You can tell from having to do all the regular business stuff to the relationships that you have with everybody that works there, and you got veterans like Louis Gonzalez working for you, who I know is a tremendous character dude. Just talk about how you've developed that rapport with all the people at Pinkerton's.
Well, it's like, I think the hardest part is you can't be friends with all of them, right? So in order to be the best leader you can, to some of the younger guys that work there, sometimes I feel like I'm like a father figure, to other people, it's collaborative peer-to-peer work. That's been one of the fun things with working with Louis, as somebody that sees eye to eye on a lot of stuff with me. And it's been fun to kind of see the ideas percolate and be able to take steps to the next level. But really the thing I love about it is running restaurants just keeps you on your toes. So something new all the time. It's always there's always a new issue. You wake up every morning knowing there's something you're going to overcome that day, right? Whether it's bad meat, the truck doesn't show up, employees don't make it. Man, every time you open your eyes in the morning that there is something that you're going to have to overcome that day. And it's just a fun challenge. I really enjoy that aspect of working and owning restaurants. I think some people, they don't like that. But every day, new challenge, and it keeps life really interesting. And I'm a person that does a very poor job sitting still. And so I always have to be doing something, fiddling with things, or building the brand or doing whatever. So if you know me, a day off is like a day of torture. So even if I'm not at the restaurant that day, I'm finding things to occupy myself and work on.
Grant, what do you take from the restaurant to bring to Hogs with, like, you have to feed the public, plus you got to do the competition stuff. Like, with your experience in that Pinkerton's, where do you find like the even kill balance of feeding the masses plus concentrating on your competition stuff?
Yeah, so we set a menu that for Hogs that we feel like we can execute really well. That's not going to overtax what we're doing on the competition side, and then we bring people that feel comfortable executing that, right? And then for me, when I show up, Saturday, they know I am not touching any of the food that gets served to the public. I'm in competition mode, and we have like a group of 4 or 5 guys that do that, and then everybody else is working on food service food. And then we're just creative with how we do it at the restaurant and how we build our menu. We've done so many festivals, done so many big events, done so many large collaborative catering jobs where we're serving bites or this, that, and the other. We have a pretty good idea of what kind of things are easy to execute in a parking lot, in a field, whatever, and please people. And so this year, our menu, it's all like Masters centric because the Masters is the same weekend, I think. And so we're going to have obviously like our famous pimento cheese from the shop, and then a couple Masters inspired sandwiches.
Like the pork barbecue, the egg salad, that sort of deal.
Right.
Cool. So tell me this: having Pinkertons and stuff like that, and that wild card of a entry potpourri. The last few years, what did you do, and why did you do it?
Let's see. Last year we did like a pork belly banh mi.
Come on, that's a cop out.
Yeah, it was really easy, and you know what? It didn't do very well, but it was delicious. Yeah. And I had a friend that we like to like give different people, hey, you're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that. Obviously, there's some oversight, so I have to kind of bless every item. I'm trying to think of what the year that I was on the team before. I'm trying to remember what they did for pork. Oh, the year before that, I did a pork belly beignet. So I cooked like a pork belly. I cooked pork belly burnt ends and made a giant beignet and kind of took the top off and piled the burnt ends in the beignet. That was pretty good.
Oh, like a stuffed beignet. Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
This year, we're gonna take a big swing, dude. It's either gonna work really well or it's gonna work really bad. But with the bonus category, man, you might as well swing hard.
So the best one I had by far was a pork baklava. Out of all things, Sweetie's team was right next to me, and one of the guys, Larry Canada, is just like you. They delegate what categories to what people, and Larry makes this amazing pork baklava that I never would have thought that would be good. It was freaking amazing.
I love the baklava.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm back. Hopefully my mic is working. Is it working?
Yes.
All right. I restarted my whole operation over here. Thank you, Tung. You did amazing as our co-host here. Yeah, so I heard y'all talking about these different deals. Both of you guys have kind of different chef backgrounds. We got barbecue and, of course, Asian Cajun kind of deal. What y'all's approach to creating dishes that's going to kind of stick out for Hogs for the Cause? There's 90 teams out there. We're in New Orleans. There's a different kind of, palette out there. But what Tung, I'll start with you first, having this Asian Cajun kind of background here. And you know the area. You're from New Orleans, right? So you know this whole food scene over there. What are you doing anything special to there? I don't expect you to announce what you're doing here, but maybe talk about some past dishes.
Yeah, I mean for the public food. So this year we're doing this smoked chartreuse pork belly fried rice. We're gonna smoke it ahead of time, and then we're gonna chill it. We want to cube it up and just do it. We're gonna have Weber there as well. So Weber's coming out with all their cool equipment. They'll have their slates, their ranch kettle and stuff there. So we'll be cooking all off of their stuff. And then we'll do a smoked chartreuse pork belly fried rice with this lemongrass sauce to drizzle right on top. We also did those bows with smoked pulled pork with a real hoisin barbecue sauce right on top of that. Entries before we've done, there's a paratha, which is a Indian flatbread that we use, and we did this ground pork dish that you see in Vietnamese dishes, and then we put on there with all the pickled vegetables and the fresh cilantro and all these other elements to it that's not typically barbecue, but it has that nice Asian flavor that is noticeable and very familiar to some of these judges that, now you incorporate that smoked meat to it. It really pops out and stands out from just your typical, money muscle pork shoulder in the bottom, right? So,
sure.
Yeah, certain things like that you can do to stand out, especially with potpourri. It gives us chefy guys a chance to kind of win this thing. So, yeah.
Well, there's going to be a lot of them out there, apparently, with the restaurant tours out there. How about you, Grant? Same question to you. What do you, with your background and what you've done in the past here, this is what, year 4 for you, whatever. You can do anything? You said I saw some. We got to surprise them with the potpourri or whatever you're doing.
We have something cooked up. Dude,
don't. Obviously, you're not going to expose that here because you're going to give people ideas. But maybe something in the past. I know you mentioned what your team did back there, but in the past. But is there anything that you've seen out there that kind of caught your eye? Or like, okay, that's interesting or that's neat out there.
What did they do like a few years ago was. The thing that won a few years ago was like a cornbread muffin that had like crawfish and pork belly baked into it or something.
Okay. It was tasso. It was tasso in that sucker. I heard about that one.
Okay.
And there was a year that a Snicker bar won. They had pork in a Snicker bar with the nuts and everything. And then they had money muscle nigiri. So they did the rice. They sliced up the money mussels right on top of the nigiri, brushed it on with like a barbecue sauce, and dressed it up with like fried hot chili, like chili crisps and stuff like that. And they did really well too. So you never know at all these things that for potpourri, something
and
sweet.
It was like
something
a pork belly king cake that won one year.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good. We are in crawfish season. I know you mentioned the crawfish dish with the muffin here, but is there anything that you can think of to like incorporate? How can we incorporate like traditional boiled crawfish, that seasoning, into anything? Is that something y'all tried to or think about or do anything like that?
Well, as far as other meats, I tried to not think about the fact that I'm in New Orleans. I just cook. Good is good, right?
Right.
It's good. I agree.
Good is good. Don't mess it. Man, the guy that's won, let's say they won ribs 2 years ago and won first, second, or third last year. I think maybe
Hog
they were
addiction?
third
Was
last
it hog
year.
addiction?
No, they won first ribs and then third ribs last year. They're in Bark and Bite as a team name.
Bite. Yeah.
Dude, it's driving me nuts because they're using my everything rub, my boss hog, and my rib blade. Like they're literally running. The guy came up to me the first year and goes, I just ran the ribs that are on your Instagram. And
oh
like,
my gosh.
Really? He goes, can I take a picture with you? Thank you so much. And like he friggin' beat me with my own stuff, And he did it 2 years in a row. So I'm like, I'm in my own head now. I'm like, man, I should just run the restaurant rib. Just send it. Run the same thing. It's obviously worked.
I tell you this, it's something familiar and people notice it. I think that usually takes the cake because it's just like, oh, that's too crazy for certain people. But when you taste it, it's like, oh, this is familiar. This is what barbecue's supposed to be.
Right.
Then you get your high scores. You get all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How is this judged? What do y'all know about the judging room?
It's MBN scoring. So Memphis
okay, so it's
Network.
Memphis Barbecue Network.
And it's basically impossible to figure out how the scoring works.
We got to figure that
exactly.
out. We got to figure that out. Chris Hatcher is like, how are the categories judged? So it's MBN, right? And are there celebrity judges? Or these people that are just at the fairgrounds festivals? Or are they signed up?
Sell spaces for you to come judge.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So
they sell space
to come judge.
Okay.
And then that money's donated to the.
Well, that's cool.
Charity.
Yeah. There's about 24 celebrity judges. They'll have a dozen on Friday. They'll do like the answers, and a dozen on Saturday. They'll do it. And then everybody else is probably guests that are paid to be there. And then I know there's 2 leads from MBN there kind of coaching everybody how to taste things. Yeah.
How are the what celebrities have you seen out there, and who do we know of this year? Do y'all know of anybody?
I don't. I saw Ralph
the baker.
Yeah, he was there one year.
The Mannings have been out there.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
Cooper, Arch's daddy was out there.
Oh, the third Manning.
Yeah. Well, he's actually the first Manning, right?
Okay, well, he's born first, I guess, but he's the third. MBN have certified judges. I might know one. Oh, he is one. maybe Eric will be there. But all right, so we will have to figure that out. I think as competition guys, we got to kind of have an idea of what they're looking at. And so shoulder box, they're building it kind of like a pork box that you would anywhere else, right, Grant? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I always feel like MBN, it's a little, you can turn in a sloppier box because their appearance score, how they tell them, at least how I've been always told, is they basically say you open the box and it says, does it look appetizing? Does it look appealing? They're not sitting there fine-tooth combing your appearance score. It's like, does it make you want to eat it? If it's a yes, then it's a 10.
Okay.
Which, to be honest, I think that's probably the best way to judge appearance. The way that I've seen in my appearance scores the last 2 years in like CBA and IBCA just being completely all over the map. Then I think that's a really good way to do it. Like, open the box. Does it look good? Yes.
Like we do on this show. It's like, that foil on the right side is kind of popping up a little bit. You're like, no, I get it. Yeah. Does it look like you want to eat it? That's the main thing, right? So, okay. All right. That's good.
And in the whole hog, I think you need to have like 4 certain cuts in there, right?
That is right. So there's one caveat is that whole hog, you have to put in your shoulder, your loin, and your ham in there, but you can include one other muscle group. So obviously everybody's going with belly meat.
Jowl.
Or jowl, yeah.
Yeah.
Jowl is a lot of fat, so
I tend to do the cheek and the jowl. Yeah. I do like all the face meat and stuff like that. Clean it up, slice it up, and just sauce it again. Yeah.
I was talking to Adam Gotro this weekend. He did a whole hog deal and he'd never cooked a hog, and he had to find something that was tender and it wasn't cooked enough to where his liking was. And he found the shank. He said that was the most tender part.
That thing is like blows apart. Yeah.
Yeah. He said it was the most tender that he could find, and he wound up winning first hog.
Where was this?
I don't know where it was, but he was just talking to me about it. Louisiana somewhere, I guess, because that's where he was. That's where he was.
I need to go to that contest.
Yeah.
Grant, what are you cooking on that weekend?
A CTO.
CTW.
Yeah.
What are we cooking on?
Same thing we cook on at the restaurant for hogs.
We're cooking on the ELDX.
That's a rotisserie.
Yeah, we're cooking the hog on that one, and then we're cooking everything else on drums and the kettles and stuff like that. Yeah.
So Grant, for people that have people that's never cooked a whole hog like myself, I mean, I've been around them. I've seen them done. I've seen the preparation. I've seen people taking saws to them to open them up and get them ready, get them prepped here. What is the, we've seen the different styles of cooking, right? You can lay them on your back. You can do the running style, kind of like the shed does, which makes a really pretty presentation while it's cooking. What is your experience? Both of y'all I can ask the same question to both of y'all here, but what's your experience as far as, what produces the best flavorful, tender meat for you?
Well, we cook ours basically like running style at the restaurant. And we remove a good chunk of the skin so we can get a lot of flavor built into that hog. Because, as guy once told me, you can't get flavor in a football. And, it's pretty good advice when cooking fish.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I do. We did the last few years running style, and we did really well. We always was top 10 doing running style. When we did it on its back, we didn't do too well. But I feel like it's always on the finishing aspect of it, right? Right when you pull your meats and stuff, how you're going to dress it up for that final bite that judge is going to taste. So
somebody asked what they said running style with a question mark. I mean, they're not familiar with it. What is it?
Not like you cook it with the back up, the head forward, the front arms are raised like this, and the back legs can either be kicked out or they can be tucked up underneath the belly of the pig. How would
the juices stay in that type of cooking style? I think they would fall out. Gravity takes hold of it.
But a shoulder is a shoulder, so it's not like your pork butt dries out cooking.
Yeah, I'm talking about the ribs. Stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about the ribs and the ham. I feel like
there's a lot of fat over them.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you do?
The ham, I leave my hams covered with skin.
Yeah. What do you do for your loin? Like the top of your loin? Like, how do you protect that top of the loin so it doesn't
Man, I ain't giving that away here. That's
you saw that, Rob. You saw him sneak that one in.
But You gotta have a pig with a lot of back fat is what you want. The more back
So you
fat,
want a big booty Judy
mm-hmm.
before she starts. All right.
Hey, I'm trying to get trade secrets. He went back to back. That's nothing to be shy about, man. A Texas guy winning whole hog back to back at Hogs. Come on, that's something to hang your hat on.
You got to keep the loins, protected. So, like the number one thing that I found with cooking pigs is when that hog shows up, you're gonna know whether. Like last weekend, we cooked 180-pound hog in the at the restaurant, and man, I knew when it showed up and we opened it, it looked like a toad. We took the skin off. And you cut down and there was that much back fat over the loins, dude, I know that pig's going to be badass. You basically have to work to dry the loins out on that thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is just in the hog itself.
The hog itself, right.
Where do you source your hog?
Well, I've sourced them from, let's see. We used to source Berkshires from Newman Farms. And, we did that last year at Memphis in May, and they were good. But we've cooked at the restaurant. We're cooking comparts every weekend, and so man, at this point, I'm so used to compart farms that I can build a flavor profile around it. I know how it's going to act. I know every size about when they're going to finish. So this year we're going to bring a compart hog. It's very familiar, right?
Yeah,
so.
you have reps in there, right? So the more reps you have, you kind of know what you're working with. Doing it every day, pretty much.
I've said it, never done it, but what time is turn in for hog, and what time will the cooking process begin? And obviously, it seems like it's got to be an overnight type cook, right? It's not.
So they actually changed it on us. Usually, the first turn in at I want to say 8 or 9 o'clock was whole hog, right? But this year they swapped it, so the first turn in is going to be shoulder, and then whole hog's going to be around noon. This is what I heard.
Hold
and then
up.
Ribs are later, right? Or something.
Yeah. Whoa. Hold 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's common for MBN. So usually MBN is 9 a.m., right? And the reason that is because you can hold your hog because MBN has finals, right? So if you hit finals, they come back around and judge everybody again, right? So it's impossible to hold another rack of ribs for 4 more hours when they're judging all the categories to come back around for finals. So ribs is always the last and hog is always the first because you submit your blind box in with half of your pig. Man, the other half of the pig is fine just sitting in your cooker, just holding for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
So if you made finals, you're the first one judged at finals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm cooking ribs, so I can sleep in a little bit. Right? I mean, this
is what I heard. So the reason why they changed the whole hog to noon versus 9
because we've won twice.
People got a little rowdy on Friday night.
Pinkerton and roll,
and the fires were not lit all the way, and they didn't refuel, so they had some undercooked hogs. So they're trying to give everyone a fighting chance this time, since Pinkerton's won it back to back so many times.
Dang. Okay. We got the Pinkerton, the claws here. Claws hogs for the cause. So 12 o'clock is turn in. Like when are we putting on, Tung? Grant?
Oh, you might as well just get it on early in the morning, noon.
The previous.
Yeah.
Noon o'clock on Friday.
I mean, we could honestly, like I'd like to, if it was 9 a.m. again, if it's noon, I'm putting it on at noon. And when it's done, I'll just hold it the rest of the way.
Yeah. So
I just want to make sure it's done.
24 hours. Is it low and slow? It's not hot and fast, right? We're doing low and slow on this type of
I cook them low.
Yeah.
Low.
So we do it after. This has always been tradition for us. Is after we do the meeting with the captain's meeting, and at the captain's meeting they introduce the child that year is kind of like sponsoring and kind of tell the story, and we get our boxes and tell all the rules and all that fun stuff. And then after that, our team goes, we prep the hog, we get the cooker ready, and then we put it on right there and we set it, forget it, and just worry about the rest of the day and cooking food for the public, making sure all our teams got their bands and everyone's in on property time. And, you know, once you get that done, you can start everything else. And then earlier that day, they have protein checks. So they'll walk around and check all the proteins and stuff like that. So no one's cheating and injecting things too early and stuff like that. So, yeah.
All right, cool. This sounds like a lot of fun, man. This seems like a lot going on. A
lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of moving parts. We've got, you know, obviously we've got, this is the flyer here. Thank you, Ty here. But yeah, Stephen Wilson Jr. is headlining this deal. Charles Wesley Godwin. I'm not familiar with him, but I've been sent some of these guys, these people that are on here. People sending me some music of these artists here. So I'm excited about that. But obviously we're there to cook. I'm excited that we're going to be doing our So Smoking Gooder show right there. We're going to have a tent set up. We're going to have everything set up. So Grant, if you can take some time and come over and talk about it while we're on the grounds and talking about that. And if anybody's listening that's going to be there, we'd love to talk to you as well while we're there. We're going to have a table, chairs, you know, microphones all set up, talking hogs for the cause that weekend. I'm excited to be part of this huge festival, right? That raises money for a great cause. You know, that over $15 million so far raised. Grant and your group, Pinkertons and Glazed and Confused, have done a great, awesome, outstanding job of raising funds for this charity. This is going to be amazing. I'm excited about it. You know, we talked about the meats and everything and what's going on here. The public, you know, there's going to be a bunch of public out there. So talk about that. Is just it from the videos that I've seen. It just looks like a sea of people that are going to be in there the whole time.
Great one. Take that one.
Sure. Yeah, it's so much. It's actually a really great event if you have no team to just buy a ticket and show up. It's one of the few barbecue contests that it's actually worthwhile. I told a lot of people that are donors of ours, I'm like, hey, take a weekend trip to New Orleans and come to the barbecue festival and cook off for 4 hours a day, listen to some music, and then go eat dinner in the quarters at night. But there's a lot of people there, but during the day, man, it's very relaxed. It's very chill. It's the complete opposite of Houston rodeo. I feel like this might've been what Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Cook-Off was like in the 70s. Okay. You know, just tents and people were coming and going and walking around, and there's no security. There's just like, man, just people hanging out, having a good time, bumping in and out of tents, and very social. And it's a kickback, you know?
That's great. You know, I love the fact that there's, you know, you can walk in, you can visit with other teams, right? And it just kind of, it's a real welcoming environment, it sounds like. Louis said, Tung, since they made you change your team name, I don't think they made him change his name, but did they make all the other dirty name teams change as well?
No, I personally just changed my name. There's still got some dirty names out there, but just to be, you know, the legacy part of it and just having, you know, for the team purpose, just it's not a one-man show, obviously. Like I didn't do this on my own. It took the entire team, and I want the team to be able to have, hey, I was a part of that, you know, when, you know, they go to a hospital and see like, hey, this team helped build this hospital or this wing at this place. So that's why that was the decision to change the name and just, you know, just to have a footprint and a legacy for the future. So
you mean you didn't want like the Porky long time wing at that children's
wing?
So when Our Lady was doing the wing, they were putting down the bricks, and it was like, hey, we really can't put Porky long time on this brick. Can we just put from the family of Tung Nguyen? I was like, sure, that's fine. but it was a team effort, right? Like the team raised the funds and all that kind of fun stuff. And that's what I wanted to do and be able to do that.
Second Line Swine. It's a good name, man. And it definitely screams New Orleans. The Second Lines are the I've seen a funeral on Bourbon Street, right, where they come around with
it's the heartbeat, right? The Second Line is the heartbeat of New Orleans. It just brings the energy. It brings, like, you know, the magnetic, like, you know, when you're in New Orleans, it's magnetic. It's in the air, it's in the water, it's in the food. It makes you want to come back for more. And I think that Second Line is kind of like that definition of New Orleans. So I really thought through it, and that's why we came up with the name. So yeah,
I love it. That's good. Yeah. And Glazed and Confused, that's just
all right.
That's what y'all are doing, right?
Well, you know, we're like basically the only team from Texas, and it was, the team is me and my friend Nick, and we got together and had like 15 different like pork puns, because that's part of the fun of the contest is like every team needs to have like a punny name, right? Mm-hmm. And so we had all these different ones listed out, and I'm like, man, I really feel like Glazed and Confused is a really good one. We're a team from Texas. It's a Texas-inspired name. And it was basically unanimous when I threw it out there. Everyone was like, yes. I mean, we're like all young, and it worked good, So we bought a bunch of paddles last year, and just like they have in the movie. And
is Wabi coming back this year?
There was a lot of paddling that took place, and all that kind of good stuff.
Is Wabi coming back this year?
He is.
He was actually, so I was walking by Grant's tent last year around like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. He was the only one up. We were sitting on his couch. He was just hanging out. We were cooking a hog. Nice. Those are the good like again, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you'll see all the rifters like from leaving the parties. You're just walking the field, like the lay of the land and see
the ones
zombies.
Exactly.
Some of them are on the ground.
Dude, it's crazy. But Hogs is a good time. You should experience Hogs three ways: as an attendee, being on a team, and as a judge. If you do that, you kind of get the whole sense of what Hogs is all about.
Absolutely. I love
Dude,
that.
I would love to judge pork puree category.
Right?
Hey, Grant, speaking of like Hogs, right? I know there's a few restaurants here in Houston that are also serve it, right? I know that Fiji's he's dabbled, and our boy Leonard over at Truth has done it as well. But you're one of the few, right, that has done this, especially here in Texas. I feel like you're on the forefront. Obviously, you've got competition wins, with Memphis, and now, Hogs for the Cause, double back-to-back winner. But I would say, and I'm going to say it right now on this show, on barbecue show, that one of the only ones out here in Texas, you are the man in the whole hog right now for Texas right now. How's that? Obviously, you take a lot of pride in it. You've studied it. You're doing it at the restaurant daily, like you mentioned here. I think it's pretty cool. How can we introduce this unique kind of style of cooking more to the masses here in Texas? Because it's different. It's exciting. As even me, as it cooks barbecue competitively, when I see somebody cooking a whole hog, I'm just amazed. I'm just watching, and it's really neat to see. And then y'all guys are just pulling it off the pig and handing it out. It's pretty awesome. It's exciting. Like, it's definitely a it's a view. What I'm trying to say is something that you not only watch and smell and eat and stuff, but it's something you really want to take part in and be a part of, right?
Yeah, I raised hogs when I was in high school, and would raise an extra one and cook it every year. And so kind of like I always say, like my passion for pigs kind of started then. And I just always felt like the whole hog was like the pinnacle of barbecue, right? And then the Carolina style hog never really resonated with me. So the guys that you said were talking about cook Carolina style, and I think it doesn't really resonate with a lot of Texans, because it's basically cooked to 200 degrees or whatever, and all pulled together and chopped. And it's been really interesting listening to customers talk about the hog when we've served it, right? And the one thing that's been consistent with customers is they hate when it's chopped up really fine, which is kind of a trademark of that Carolina style.
Mm-hmm.
People in Texas are like, man, I want to have a bite. Like I want to have like meat. I don't want the meat to be the same consistency as my bun. And so I was like, that's interesting. And the way we cook it, the running style way, things have a little bit more texture to them. So we felt like our hog has been resonating really well and selling out of it every time we've served it, because it's a little more high power. It doesn't just taste like steamed pork with a bunch of vinegar and salt in it. It has smoke. It has bark, which is familiar to Texans, right? Mm-hmm. It's salty. It's sweet. It has a little more oomph. So it's closer in their mind to like a brisket, right? Which is something they're more used to. And I think that's the way kind of forward for hogs in Texas. We have to remember that we aren't people in Carolinas. That isn't what we grew up on. So we're looking for a barbecue that's a little more reflective of the flavors and how we like to eat our barbecue here, which is definitely more smoky than there.
Well, I think that's one of the most appealing things and exciting things whenever somebody is, serving me. All right, here's a ham, right? Here's a loin, here's a piece of rib. It's all different. And then what you kind of mentioned, if you're kind of just lumping it all together and chopping up, yeah, it's a whole hog. It cooked as a whole hog together. But yeah, you do want those textures. You do want the bacon, or somebody gave me a piece and they kind of swirled it around, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is different, right? And
yeah, we sell ours like you would sell like have you ever seen somebody break down a whole tuna? It's like, the toro meat is priced at one point, and we actually price it different. So jowl and belly is one price. Cutter's choice, which allows them to go in and, pick out some bark from here and a little bit of ham and a little bit of shoulder for you. Loin or whatever, it's all priced different. So, but we have the belly and jowl priced at $15 a quarter pound, so $60 a pound.
Carolina folks are on edge.
And it's sold out in the first 45 minutes, so it could probably be $100 a pound.
Wow, the jowl. What's your favorite part? Cut. Both of you guys. Grant.
The jowl.
The jowl.
Yeah.
And I want a big old glob of fat from the jowl with sauce on it. Like,
it's
I don't
good,
even worry about the meat.
So
I just want
good.
some of that smoky fat out of the jowl. I love that bite. It's almost like if the pig had what do you call it?
Oyster?
No, like bone marrow. It's like hog bone marrow almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The fat on the jowl.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The way that he described it as bone marrow, and I envisioned it, he's absolutely right. And it's just that flavor. It's legitimately a flavor bomb when you eat that jowl meat with that fat. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if that pig, smoked tobacco, that's infuse that in there. No.
Hell yeah.
It dipped a little bit, that thing would be good. But yeah, no, that's interesting, man. You got the ham and all of it. I'm excited to see you in action, Grant, do that. I'm excited to see our team, Tung, in action. Who's taking the lead? You're the man, Tung.
No shot.
Who is it?
For our team? It's a team, right?
Okay, I like it. Am I gonna get my hands dirty in this thing?
Yeah, you are. It's just like look,
I just killed my microphone again.
At the end of the day, it's just like, everyone's tasting. Everyone has a different palate. Like, being from someone from New Orleans, if the judges are local, yeah. So you killed it. But like being a guy from New Orleans, and then if the judges are from New Orleans, I kind of know what palate they're looking for, right? So I'm like the last one to try this, try that from all the turn-ins and stuff. So that's kind of my take into it. But you'll have guys like Rob who be like, hey, we got to box it up like this. We're going to use this part. We're going to use that part. This is tender. Like, just everyone has their little job to do when we build that box. So we lost them.
No. Yeah, we
back, I think.
It's a full team effort. I don't know whether that's like a Hogs thing or what, but I do feel like it's the only competition. Well, Memphis and May is like that too, but like I feel like at Hogs, it's definitely that is a big team sport, which is actually one of the reasons I love doing Memphis and May. It's the only time you can have basically 6 or 8 dudes, and like, man, everybody pulled some weight there.
Yeah, everyone does. That's why, like, when they raise the funds and when they raise that trophy on walking across the stage, it truly is. We were in the last 24 hours cooking our asses off together. So it's truly one of those team events that, it's great. I mean, that's why we come back for more. Like, this is my 10th year. This is what, your 5th year, Grant? Yeah. So
how do they call awards? Obviously, is it just
it's an hour and a half awards.
You're in for a treat. It's like a 2-hour award ceremony. The first year I went, I was like,
pack a lunch.
What the ever living is this? I mean, dude, it went on forever. It was miserable. I'm like, man, these guys just like hearing their own voice up there, you know? And then I'm like, I'm never coming back. This was horrible. So we left.
And then he wins Hogs and he comes back.
We came back and we're like, all right, here we go. And it always starts like 45 minutes late. Dude, awards is a 3-hour process. You can ask Louie in the chat.
No, it really is, because they'll say, oh, award starts at 6 o'clock. No, take your time, walk over there around like 7:15. Then you'll hear, yeah, everybody, this is how much we raised this year.
Well, it's important, you know. That's why we're there. But I get it.
They'll start off with that. Then they'll start off with the social media awards. And
yes,
they yank all like the top 5 social media awards. It takes about 20 minutes to call them out.
And people are far away, so they only in the main categories. What do they bring the top 3 up on stage?
Yeah, the top.
They call top 15, right? Or
15? Yeah, you're right.
Top 15 for every category, and it's just getting a team of 25 people on stage 3 different times for each category takes forever.
And it's not like 2 people walking up, right?
No, it's like legitimately 25 people.
That's awesome. I'm excited, actually. Let's walk that stage, both of us for sure. Louie will be there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Louie will be there. I figured, I didn't know if you had him in the pits at the restaurant that weekend.
So Grant, we're having Friday. I have a donor that donated us a couple sacks of crawfish too.
Oh,
so
nice.
if you're coming over for the podcast, we'll be having crawfish rolling. We'll be having Weber cooking us some food for just tasting bites, hanging in some tri-tips and some facillo, some more beef. Since we're having hogs all week, we're gonna have some beef products that we'll be snacking all Friday night. So come on by and hang out.
So are we having a traditional boil? Or are we going to have some Asian fusion?
We're going to have a traditional boil. You haven't had my crawfish yet, huh, Rob?
I have never had your crawfish.
Just the sound of your crawfish makes his
microphone scream. Go Producer Ty.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like it's time to tap out since we're having so much trouble with his mic?
Well, have you done the?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
I wanted to make sure we got your barbecue Mount Rushmore and barbecue homie. If you haven't done it, Chef Tom.
My barbecue Mount Rushmore. Oh gosh, that's hard.
Oh, good luck with that.
4 people on your mountain, Tung, that are important to you, inspired you, however it may be. Part of your barbecue journey. We've already done Grant's.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, okay, first one on there is probably going to be Cosmo, obviously. And there's a reason why I'm here. Is just he's a great guy. He's a great mentor. He's done all the things. Number 2 would be Tuffy.
All right.
He has that chef background, right? And that screams me. And following him and what he's been doing on the competition side, now doing all the media side as well. I really respect what he's doing and kind of want to follow in his kind of footsteps in a sense. Number 3, Marcio, Mississippi boy. Marcio from Hog Addiction.
Hog Addiction.
Yeah. And the reason why is I've been around him a lot, and he's just wins just all the damn time. And that's when I got my start into it. And then the last one, dude, this is hard putting only 4 people up there. Man.
You get one in the gift shop. They almost made it on the mountain, but they get a nice little bobblehead in the gift shop.
My Mount Rushmore, Malcolm Reed. I mean, I watched his YouTube videos. That's what really hooked me into it. And then not the comp side, like for me, because I'm not a comp cook. Like I do food and I do CPG, consumer packaged goods, like the barbecue spices on your shelves and stuff like that. And then when you see that growth on there and see what he's done and promoting the barbecue community, I really respect that. And then the gift shop one is Heath Rouse, Memphis and May ribs winner. He's doing his thing with all the spices as well too. So yeah, that's my Mount Rushmore and my gift shop guy.
All right.
What was the other one, Ty?
Barbecue homie.
Barbecue homie.
My barbecue homie. This is a layup. Joey Machado, man. I would not be in the barbecue scene if it wasn't for Joey Machado. Joey Machado came to Hogs of the Cause. Speaking of Hogs of the Cause, that COVID year in Belle Chase, Louisiana, and he was with Suarez, and they were filming, and they were just watching me and Sweetie. I was cooking with Sweetie that year, and we were just butchering down our whole hog turn in, and they were just there watching and filming, and we're just chatting it up, and we're just tasting things, and I'll just say, hey, it needs this, it needs that, and Joey was like, oh, okay, he really knows what he's talking about. And lo and behold, a couple months later, we had like a trade show to do. Calls me up and say, hey, dude, you want to meet me in Orlando? Was it Orlando or Dallas to do an Ace trade show with Kosmo? So I'm like, okay, this is new to me. So I went, we did it, we knocked it out the park, and it was just like, ever since then, it's history. We did a bunch of other different shows. We did a bunch of festivals.
You were bossing my kids around there at that Dallas trade
show.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like when you're doing these trade shows, and Grant probably knows, it's like you need to have a system. Like you're feeding the masses, and a lot of these guys that are promoting consumer packaged goods, like they don't know. They know how to sell, but they don't know the kitchen aspect of it. And then me being in the kitchen my entire life, I kind of know just like, hey, just do this. Really simple. You have this one job, post it up like this, and you can teach anyone how to cook. You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I will. We've talked about Hogs for the Cause. This is a great event, man. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to experience it. Grant, I can't thank you enough for what you're doing for this event. I know that it's near and dear to your heart. You know, you took some, you got emotional about it, like you mentioned earlier, and this is something you ran with, and all the success you got going on with the restaurant, bringing Hogs to Texas and doing that and experience, just kind of bringing it to the masses, because, we don't see a lot of whole hog cooking here in Texas. So the fact that you're on the forefront of for Texas whole hog cookers, and not only that, you're going and winning at these big events. So I'm excited to see you in action. If I'm in your camp, trust me, I'll be looking at what y'all guys are doing. But I'm excited to see how we do, all of us together as a group here on this show. But you specifically in what you're doing out there, man, congrats on the restaurant. Congrats on all the success that you got going on.
Thank you.
Anybody that you want to get out of here and thank before we let you out of here, man? I appreciate you.
Well, thank you for bringing me on.
Of course.
Let's see. Anybody I want to thank? I know Louie's listening. Thank you, Louie, for helping me the last 2 months opening the restaurant.
Awesome. All right. There's Louie. I think your wife was watching too.
My wife was watching, but she knows she's my ride or die. So we're a package deal. We'll be out there. My daughter will be there. Wonderful. And as my daughter said, actually, I'm going to share this story. So before Houston, Bill Purvis posted a video of me and him on stage at Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And my daughter goes to a lot of the competitions with us. She's 3, and she has since she was born. And so we're in the car at a red light, and she sees me watching it on my phone. And she said, Daddy, I want to go on that stage one day. And I said, oh, okay, you can go. And she goes, but when I go up there, will you go with me? So I hope we get a call at Hogs for the Cause so we can bring her up on that stage, and she can have that memory.
Look, if you don't get called, y'all coming up with us.
All right. That's fine with me. Any stage visit, visit.
There we go, baby. Hey, come by Friday. We'll have that crawfish roll and the steaks burning.
All right. Sounds good.
Absolutely. Grant, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you always. Thank you for being a part of this show, man. I love you for that. And obviously, I'm excited to hang out and spend some time with you this here in a couple weeks, man. I'm excited. It's going to be great.
Let's do it.
Thanks, Grant. Appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much. Tung, same to you, man. We just heard your Mount Rushmore, my man. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. It's different. I'm not a comp guy, so my Mount Rushmore is just people who influenced me enough to be in the industry and continue to do barbecue. So that's why I went the route I went. So
absolutely. Same to you, man. Anybody you want to give some shout outs to before we let you get out of here?
Shout out to the Texas guys coming up for Hogs for me. You, With Hatcher's coming, Joey, Michelle, they're coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, can't wait to see y'all in New Orleans. Joey and I is gonna be hauling from Oklahoma City down to New Orleans. It's gonna be like a 15-hour drive. So we'll be rolling down there, man.
We're excited. We're excited. If y'all want to hang out, y'all are welcome to. I do want to give some shout outs to the winners this past weekend and our upcoming events, because that's a big deal that we do on this show. But Tung, you're willing to hang out if you want. But I'll be about 5 minutes, and then I'll wrap up this show. But Ty, if you could play some music. Thank you to Grant Pinkerton with Pinkerton's Barbecue, Glazed and Confused, and of course Tung Nguyen, our captain this weekend, Asian Cajun Cowboy, Second Line Swine. I'm excited about it, Tung. Hang out, man. We're good. But Ty, play some music. I'm going to do the wrap-up, recap, and upcoming events segment, and we will get out of here in just a second. There it is right here. Okay, over in the Champions Barbecue Alliance. Appreciate you guys still watching. What a great show tonight, talking about hogs for the cause. You guys are in New Orleans or in Louisiana. Make a short trip over to New Orleans. It's going to be a good time. Like Grant said, man, buy a ticket. Go check out some music. Check out some food. It's going to be awesome. All right, but I was in Louisiana this past weekend. Operation Smoke Show. I already talked about the event. What a great event. Make plans if you can do it. Grand champion was Jerry Valley from Valley AC Cold Smoke. And the RGC was Buddy Howell from On Call Barbecue. Congratulations. I see Steven's in the comments right there. He said, I missed you. I missed you too, man. All accounts, what a great event. The All Fired Up Benefit Cook-Off Grand Champion with Phil Breeden with LC Barbecue. Can y'all hear me? Tyler, can you hear me? Are we good?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
All right, good. The RGC was Brent Heiling. Is it Heilig? I think so. Getting sauced and smoked. And then we had the FOE Eagles cook-off, the grand champion, Justin Payne from Smoking Aces Barbecue, the RGC Brady McGee, Texas Barbecue Hub. Over in the IBCA, we had the 13th annual Grunau Hall Barbecue Cook-Off. Grand champion was Stephen Foster, DNS Cookers. RGC was Craig Kennemer, our Red Eye Barbecue. We had the ABC Pro Rodeo Cook-Off Grand Champion. Look at Aaron. We got one? Do we got one? No, I didn't prep them red. Texas Oil Dust. The RGC was Bell Clark and Paul Whitaker from Scooter and Clark. We had the big one here, Centex Barbecue Roundup, the grand champion, Michelle Martinez. Amp Cookers, get up, Chucky. The RGC was Eric Arnold from Big E Barbecue. Then we had the Kennedy Music Festival grand champion, Ben Acevedo from A Crane Rental. The RGC was Richard Garcia, Turned Up Barbecue. Over in Outlaw, pew, 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 pew. The Limestone County Cook-Off. The grand champion was Dwayne Turnbow. And the RGC was Clint Cook. The Saginaw Youth Association Cook-Off grand champion, AJ George. Okie Folks Barbecue. And the RGC was Ricky Bocanegra. And he is from We Dem Boys. Hold on, I think my battery. Look, I got all kinds of stuff going on this weekend here. Let me plug this in so that we don't die. All right. I did that one. And over in KCBS, man, what a big event. Eric Cantrell, if you're still watching, he put on an amazing event over at the Smoke on the Shores in Lebanon, Tennessee. Grand champion was Razor Racks in the RGC Kith and Kin. And they will be our guests next week. We're going to have Eric Cantrell, Little Gringo. He's in the comments. And we're going to have the grand champion in the RGC, Razor Racks and Kith and Kin. And Torrey Island Barbecue Showdown. The grand champion was Tillman's Barbecue. The RGC was Accutech Barbecue. Dinuba in California. The grand champion, Cynical Barbecue. The RGC Big Cat Barbecue. And we had the 8th annual Culatha Barbecue Championship in Culatha, Kansas. Grand champion was our good buddy JDQ, and the slaps was RGC. All right, that's going to wrap up the wrap-up recap. Thank you to Damn Yankee. How about the Navy SEAL Danny Dietz Memorial Classic, Smoking Magic, Texas Oil Dust, Pinkerton's Pit Barbecue, Minotti Woodcrafters, The Chopping Block, Mr. Keen, which we did get a proof of life earlier today. Maybe. JB Waterwells, and we got RecTech, Bull Printing Wraps and Graphics, and of course the All Fired Up Benefit Cook-Off in Pleasanton, Texas. There he is right there. Proof of life from Mr. Keen Sharpening Service. And last but not least, we got to do the upcoming events segment. Talking about upcoming events, Hogs for the Cause. That's one. That's in 2 weeks. So how about this weekend? Texas Trophy Hunters 15th Annual Bucks and Barbecue in San Antonio, Texas. That is a state championship. We got the Border Classic in Del Rio, Texas, state championship. Down here in Alvin, the Alvin Music Festival, Alvin, Texas, state championship. We got the Guadalupe Sunny Hernandez Barbecue in Palmview, Texas. And in Angleton, we got the Circle the Wagons Cook-Off. Over in the IBC, we got the 4th Annual DCJRA Benefit Barbecue Cook-Off in Carrizo Springs, Texas. 6th Annual John Heibner Barbecue Cook-Off in Shiner. State Championship, both of those. Roadrunner Barbecue Battle in Quina, how you say that, Grant? Quina. That's a state championship. How you say that, Grant?
Quina.
Thank you. Grant's still in the house. And we got the Two Creeks Barbecue Showdown in Livingston, Texas, state championship. Over in Outlaw, we got the Glen Heights County Line Barbecue Cook-Off in Glen Heights, Texas. That is a state championship. And in KCBS this coming weekend, Kicking Route 66 Barbecue Challenge. We talked about that. Apparently it goes through Oklahoma, St. Robert, Missouri. We got the Q's and Brews Bighorn Barbecue State Championship in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. And the barbecue gives back day 1 and 2, 2-day contest in Urbana, Virginia. All right, that's going to do the upcoming events segment for this weekend. Thank you to Grant Pinkerton with Pinkerton's Barbecue Glazed and Confused. Thank you to our chef in the house, Chef Tung Nguyen, with the Asian Cajun Cowboy. More from him. He didn't tell you all that he's got coming up, but he kind of hinted. There's a lot going on with our friend here, Chef Tung Nguyen. And, of course, Producer Ty, get in here before we let you get out of here, my man.
Yes, sir.
What'd you learn? What'd you think?
Well, I've learned that I absolutely love the immersion that I get to do every Wednesday night, and I'm pretty sure that we need to up our game and take our show on the road.
Come with us.
Show. Yeah,
Come
that's what I'm talking about. I want to do a live show with you on location every week, just to showcase all these cool people that we got going. So we got to up our game,
come.
Rob.
I got a big bed. You, me, and Diane. We can we can do it. But if you want to come, you're welcome to come. So we're gonna have a new tent set up. Tung doesn't even know this yet. It's coming. We got a new tent set up, so we're gonna have a setup over there. The celebrities that'll be out there, we're gonna do it, man. It's gonna be good. Sorry, I didn't put any arms on Grant Pinkerton today, but he looks good. Look at Chef Tung looking good right there. All right, Hogs for the Cause coming up April 10th and 11th. Real quick, in 2 weeks. We're excited about that. My buddy Hatch, Robski and Hatch are going to be teaming up with Tung and Joey and everybody involved with Second Line Swine. We're excited about it. All right, that's going to wrap up the show tonight. Next week, we're going to have Eric Cantrell. We're going to have Kith and Kin and Razor Racks. It's going to be a KCBS-centered show next week. I'm excited about that as well. All right, that's going to wrap up the show tonight. Thank you to everybody that helps support this show, especially Kosmos and Grant Pinkerton. They're in the house tonight. They were guests tonight. So thank you very much. That's going to wrap up the show. For Producer Ty, we are out. Case closes out, my man.
Good night to all of you wonderful people in Barbecue Nation. You too, California.